ॐ ॐ ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकृतिं पुरुषं चैव विध्यनादि उभावपि विकारांश्च गुणांश्चैव विद्धि प्रकृतिसम्भवान् कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे हेतुः प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुषः सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते पुरुषः प्रकृतिस्थो हि भुङ्क्ते प्रकृतिजान् गुणान् कारणं गुणसङ्गोऽस्य सदसद्यो निजन्मसु उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्यः उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स्य विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति समं पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितमीश्वरं न हि नस्त्यात्मनात्मानं ततो याति पराङ्गतिम् ॐ तत्सत् Jai Gurudev. Sumaji, we will need to start from, we actually did Kshetra Kshetrajna Samyogat was over. Yeah, we'll have to start from verse 27, which is on page 529.
Do you want me to share this thing or I'll
Yeah, you
use
can share
yours?
screen and I will hold on till you're able to share. Maybe I will just start with the
Okay.
previous verse till you are able to share.
Okay.
I will read this with the help of the Shastra. One separates the Kshetra from the Kshetrajna. This is the previous verse, which is Yavat Sanjayate Kinchit Sattvam Sthavara Jangamam Kshetra Kshetrajna Samyogat Tadvidhi Bharatarshabha. That is, as long as any existent thing, mobile or immobile, is born, that, may you know, Arjuna, is because of the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. Yeah. You go to 528 and then the last paragraph onwards, you can read.
From here for a person or I should start from here with the help of the Shastra.
Yeah, I think we'll start
Once,
from there. Yeah, we'll start
okay.
from there.
Jai Gurudev. With the help of the Shastra, one separates the Kshetra from the Kshetrajna.
Sorry, Jai
The
Gurudev. Sumaji, 1 second. Can you just enlarge your screen a little bit?
I don't know why it's not, I'm not able to locate how to enlarge.
You have this tool, right? The Zoom tool. Use that Zoom tool. that magnifying glass, magnifying lens. Here, find text or tools on the top, just next to that. I can see it on your screen. The
Chat.
magnifying glass,
I am not able to locate
which is
that.
just below the question mark circle. Yeah, you're close to that. Yeah, just click on that.
Oh, okay. 1 minute. Here,
Below that, below that.
here,
No, no.
here.
Yeah, that one. Just click on that.
Let me try this one.
Yeah, I think you should
Is
be
this
able to do that. Yeah,
is this better?
that's better. And yeah, see, you have go down on your right side bar. There is one plus and minus, right? Down. Yeah, go to that plus. Down, down. Come down.
This one.
Yeah, that is the one. That's the zoom in button.
Okay. Thank you.
That you can zoom in a little so it's visible for everyone.
Is this better?
This is better. Now just move your screen to the left a little bit. Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Which page was this now? Okay. So I should start from here. You read this, no? As long as any existing things, mobile or immobile, is born, that, may you know, Arjuna, is because of the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. As long as something that exists, whether mobile or immobile, is born, understand that birth is because of the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. The separation, viyoga, between the Kshetra and Kshetrajna is what is called moksha. How does this connection take place? The Kshetrajna is Atma and the Kshetra is Anatma. What kind of association is possible between Atma and Anatma? Samyoga between Kshetra and Kshetrajna is not possible. Kshetrajna is partless and not available for any change. Shankara says it cannot be an association like that between a rope and a pot, both of which have a definite form and have parts. A rope has two ends, which you can tie to the neck of the pot, thus bring them together. This kind of samyoga is not possible between Kshetra and Kshetrajna, which part of the Kshetrajna, which is pure formless consciousness, will you connect to Kshetra? It would be like trying to attach space to an object. It cannot be done because it is free from parts. This kind of association of two different objects, each having its own features, is not possible for Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Nor can we say that there is an association like that between the cloth and the threads, because the cloth is the thread. Similarly, there is no association between Kshetra and Kshetrajna because essentially they are not two different things. Nor does the Kshetrajna undergo a change to become Kshetra because it is not available for any change. If consciousness is blue, slowly it can turn into gray, but consciousness is formless and thus has no features that it can change. The Kshetra, the Kshetra is the object of knowledge and Kshetrajna is the subject. The apparent association is one of superimposition. Further, Kshetra is an object of your knowledge and is inert, and the Kshetrajna is the subject, Atma, which is pure consciousness. Between them, there is no possibility of a connection because, as Shankara has said elsewhere, they are opposite in nature, like light and darkness. Yet, one is mistaken for the other, and the properties of one are mistaken for the properties of the other. The Kshetrajna and its nature are taken as the body, and the attributes of the body are taken for the Kshetrajna Atma. This apparent association is one of superimposition, adhyasa, due to avidya. It is purely a false cognition. When you say I am, meaning the body, the existence and consciousness of the body belong to the Atma. Then again, when you say I am fat, etc., the properties of the body are superimposed upon Atma. This is all due to adhyasa, the cause of which is the absence of discrimination between kshetra and kshetrajna. That establishes the connection immediately. If there is no discriminative knowledge of an oyster shell, it is mistaken for a piece of silver. Similarly, a rope is mistaken for a snake. Two different objects, the rope and snake, have seemingly become one. How? By a connection due only to superimposition. Similarly, the association of kshetra and kshetrajna is in the form of adhyasa, superimposition, characterized by false knowledge. It is born of ignorance. With the help of the Shastra, one separates the Kshetra from the Kshetrajna. The Shastra reveals the nature of the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, and with this knowledge, one is separated from the other. Previously, it was pointed out that the Kshetra is the body, the five elements, the ahankara, the organs of action, the sense organs, the sense objects, desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, and so on. Anything other than the Kshetrajna Atma is called Kshetra. With the help of the Shastra, one separates Kshetrajna from the Kshetra, like one separates the stalk from the sharp-edged munja grass. With the alertness and care in any object, one component is kshetra, another is kshetrajna. The name and form of the object are kshetra, while its existence is kshetrajna. In the mind also, the vritti aspect is kshetra, the consciousness is myself, the kshetrajna, upon which the vritti is superimposed. Every moment, the kshetrajna and the kshetra are together available. Therefore, they have to be carefully separated. Kshetrajna has to be recognized as Brahman, which is free from all attributes of the Upadhi, and which was said to be neither an existent thing nor a non-existent thing, but the basis of all concepts of existence and non-existence. The one who recognizes this fact also recognizes that Kshetra is born of Maya and has no real existence like a wooden elephant. Shankara says this is a famous example to illustrate Maya. While walking in the forest, a student saw a large elephant and cried out to his guru who was with him, expecting the guru to stop. But the guru kept walking and walked right up to the elephant and started stroking it. When the guru called to the student also to approach the elephant, out of Shraddha, he went towards the elephant and upon nearing it discovered that it was made of wood. In the knowledge of wood, the elephant disappeared. This is mithya, an object seen in the dream or a city that you see in the clouds is also mithya. Once you see the truth of it, it ceases to exist as a reality. It is not independently existent. If you analyze the physical body, it reduces from one thing to another and finally just melts away in your understanding. Until all that is, there is consciousness. The whole creation is the same. It has its being in consciousness, the Sadvastu alone. When you see the creation, the Sadvastu, the Kshetrajna is there. But in, but in the Kshetrajna, there is no creation. When you see the creation in the Sadvastu, the Kshetrajna is there. But in the Kshetrajna, there is no creation. For a person for whom this is very nice, no? When you see the creation, the Sadvastu, the Kshetrajna is there. But in the Kshetrajna, there is no creation. For a person for whom this is very well ascertained, false knowledge, being opposed to this clear vision goes away. He does not have the confusion of the Kshetra, being Kshetrajna, and the Kshetrajna being Kshetra, and therefore the cause for birth, which is the connection between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, is gone. It was said before that the one who knows what is Purusha and what is Prakriti, along with its gunas, is not born again. Ya evam veti Purusham Prakritim cha gunaiha saha nasabhyo nasabhyo vijayate. He knows that Purusha
Nasa
is
nasa bhuyo bhijayate.
nasabhyo vijayate. He knows that Purusha is Param Brahma. Everything is superimposed upon the Purusha, which is Kshetrajna. And there is no real connection. There is no real connection. Whatsoever between the Kshetra, whatsoever between it and the Kshetra being Mithya, while the Kshetrajna is Satya. For the person for whom this is very clear, the cause of birth, which is false knowledge, is gone. He is released. Because the cause for samsara is the association, samyoga, oh, wow, between the kshetra and kshetrajna. The release from samsara requires this requires their disassociation, viyoga. I'll read this again. Because the cause for samsara is the association, samyoga, between the kshetra and kshetrajna, the release from samsara requires their disassociation, viyoga. Death cannot accomplish this because in death you are released only from one aspect of the kshetra, your physical body. There is no disassociation from the subtle body. Therefore, there is rebirth. Disassociation of the kshetra and the kshetrajna takes place only by clear knowledge of the kshetrajna and kshetra. The result of this knowledge is the removal of ignorance, and because false knowledge produced by that ignorance also goes when it goes. Samsara goes away. This is moksha. The vision of the person who has this knowledge is unfolded in the following verse. समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठानां परमेश्वरं विनय विनश्यत् विनश्यत्
Can I chant?
या प्लीज
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स्य विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति. Sarveshu bhuteshu, in all beings, samam, the same, tishtantam, remaining, vinashyatsu, among the things that are perishing, avinashyantam, as one who is not being destroyed, parameshwaram, the Lord, yah pashyati, the one who sees, saha pashyati, he sees. The one who sees the Lord remaining the same in all beings as the one who is not being destroyed among the things that are perishing, he alone sees.
one who sees is the one who sees. Ya pashyati sa pashyati. The one who sees is the one who sees. Is an expression to indicate that he sees something different from what others see. What does he see? He sees Parameshwara, the one who is limitless, Param, and the cause of everything. Ishvara, not an entity situated somewhere in particular, but the one who abides as the same in all beings. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtanam. Tishtantam, sorry. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam. In the very beginning of this chapter, Bhagavan said the same thing. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. Here, sarvakshetreshu is replaced by sarvabhuteshu and mam by Parameshwaram. In the beginning, Bhagavan said, Kshetrajnam chapimam viddihi sarvachetreshu bharata. So here sarvachetreshu is replaced by sarvabhuteshu and mam by Parameshwara. The meaning is the same. One who remains as sama, equal, without any attributes in all beings is the Parameshwara, who is unfolded by the Shastra as Satya. That which exists is the existence of everything in the form of jnana, consciousness, which is ananta, limitless. In all perishables, he is the imperishable. Then again, among all these time-bound things that are continuously getting destroyed, Vinasyatsu, he remains the one who does not die. Avinasyat, the body dies, the mind dies as the thoughts keep dying one after the other. The whole time-bound existent world dies. The whole time-bound world existent, the whole time-bound existent world dies. What does not die is Satya. Only an object, Nama Rupa, dies away, not the existence that sustains both its presence and its absence. Only an object, Nama Rupa, dies away, not the existence that sustains both its presence and its absence. Oh, wow. Both its presence and its absence. When a pot exists, it is. When it is broken, the pot is. That is existence. So when a pot exists, It is. When it is broken, the pot is. That is existence, which is Parameshwara. It never goes away. It is always with one thing or the other. In the midst of all the things that get destroyed, that which remains not dying is Parameshwara. Non dying includes all the changes an existent thing undergoes, death being the last one. Non dying includes all the changes an existent thing undergoes, death being the last one. Any existent thing is born, jayate, grows, vartate, metamorphosis, viparan, viparinamate, declines, apakshyate, and finally dies, vinashyati. The one that does so, the body is born, grows, changes, decays, and dies. The one that does not die among the dying, does not decline among the declining, does not metamorphose among the metamorphosing, does not grow among the growing, and among the things that are born is not born, but remains the same in all of them, not undergoing any change, is Parameshwara. It is not another object that prevails as others keep perishing. It is like the water which does not die among all the waves, which are born to grow and die. Similarly, among all things which are dying, Parameshwara is that which does not undergo any change whatsoever. It is not born assuming a particular form, whereby it can be said that it is existent, because it is always existent. It does not grow or metamorphose into something, nor does it decline or die away. It is free from all change because it is not time bound. It is free from all change because it is not time bound. This is the very basis of time and all things in time. From the standpoint of creation, it is called Jagat Karana, which is limitless Atma. The one who sees this alone sees. Wow. The vision of others, Shankara says, is like that of a person who has cataract. When there is one moon, he sees two. Similarly, here, because of ignorance, others see duality, which has no reality at all. Because of ignorance, one sees duality, which has no reality at all. Once there is duality, he sees himself as one thing and world as another. And being such an insignificant creature in such a vast universe, he is an he is on an endless pursuit to try and eradicate his sense of limitation through various accomplishments and acquisitions. The problem is, any accomplishment is limited and is not going to remove his sense of limitation. That is possible only in seeing that he is the only one, the one who is the imperishable in the perishables. Vinasyat, vinasyatsu, avinasyat. So the one who is the imperishable in the perishables. So to see this possible only is seeing that he is the only one. Shankara introduces the next verse saying that the clear vision of Purusha and Prakriti, otherwise called Kshetra and Kshetrajna, as it was just described, is to be praised by telling its result. Brahmaraji, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. To read verse 28.
समं पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितमीश्वरं न हि नस्त्यात्मनात्मानं ततो याति पराङ्गतिम्. Samam, the same. Samavasthitam, the one who obtains in the same form. Ishwaram, the Lord. Sarvatra, everywhere. Pashyan, Pashyanhi, because of seeing. Atmanam, himself. Atmana, by himself. Nahi nasti, he does not destroy. Tataha, therefore. Yati, he goes. Parangatim, to the ultimate end. Samam, Samavasthitam, Ishwaram, Sarvatra Pashyan, Atmanam, Atmana, Nahi Nasti, Tataha Yati Parangati. Because of seeing the Lord as the same, the one who obtains in the same form everywhere, he does not destroy himself by himself. Therefore, he goes to the ultimate end.
Does not destroy himself by himself. So this is again that mind, no? That's 6.6. Therefore, he goes to the ultimate end. He sees Ishvara, who is same in everything. In all beings, he sees Ishvara, the Lord, as the one who obtains very well sama vashtitam, samyak avastitam, as the Atma, and is therefore in the same form, samam avastitam, in all beings, without undergoing any change. Ishvara, the Lord of this entire creation, is recognized as the Atma of all beings. Seeing this, he sees himself non-separate from Ishvara and thus does not destroy himself by himself. This is so important. Does not destroy himself by himself. Because of that, he goes to the ultimate end, which is moksha. It is the ultimate end in the sense that it does not come to an end and there is no further end beyond that. He does not destroy himself by himself. Shankara explains what is meant by saying that he does not destroy himself by himself. In the world, we see that nobody destroys himself by himself. So, what is the purpose of saying this here? Only when there is a possibility of something is there a necessity to negate it. For example, there is no sentence in the Veda saying not to drink fire. It will say not to drink alcohol because there is a possibility of it, but there is no necessity to prohibit the drinking of fire. Here, Shankara cites the Vakya na prithvyam na antarikshe agni chevavyaha. Please read it properly. Brahmaraji,
न पृथिव्यां न अंतरिक्षे अग्निः चेतव्यः.
there is no prohibition for the sacrificial fire, such as do not set fire on earth, in space, in the sky, etc., because the possibility for this on earth alone, not elsewhere. Similarly, what is the necessity to say that he does not destroy himself by himself unless otherwise destroy themselves by themselves, unless others destroy themselves by themselves? What we see is just the opposite. Everybody wants to live. Even a person who commits suicide really wants to live, but he cannot bear his unhappiness, and therefore he puts an end to this body, thinking that will put an end to his sorrow. Every day, everybody wants to live and live happily. Nobody wants to destroy himself. When that is clear, what is the purpose of saying he does not destroy himself by himself? Shankara answers that this is not a problem because it is proper to say that all those who are ignorant are completely indifferent to Atma. Shankara answers this that this is not a problem because it is proper to say that all those who are ignorant are completely indifferent to our Atma and therefore are destroying themselves. Everything else can stray from your sight, but never Atma. It is always self evident and never becomes remote, in spite of it being eternally present. Because he is ignorant, a person completely sets it aside, taking the anatma, the body mind sense complex, as the atma. Naturally, he becomes the karta, therefore a bhokta. Being a frightened, limited karta, he is always doing both good and bad karma and therefore accumulating punya and papa. Once his life here is over, he has accomplished nothing and therefore has destroyed himself. Because of the punya papa, he assumes another body, which also he destroys in time. In Tamil, there is a verse which says that in this great beautiful park, the world, a beggar, the jiva, went on asking the pot maker, Ishvara, to make for him a pot, the human physical body. Because of his prayers, he was given a good body, a vessel, which is meant to be filled with knowledge. He was so ecstatic about the pot that he put it on his head and began dancing. Naturally, it fell down and broke. He did not fill it up with knowledge. Assuming new bodies one after another, the ignorant person keeps destroying them because of abuse of his free will, the very endowment which can release him from samsara. It is something like a person who's bound up in ropes, being given a knife, instead of cutting loose his bonds, he cuts his own throat. He destroys himself by himself. Even though Atma is the absolute reality, the only thing that is, due to ignorance, he is destroyed. This is because the result, moksha, that is already obtaining as centered on Atma, himself, he has denied himself. I'll read this again. He destroys himself by himself. Even though Atma is the absolute
Can
reality,
you please read one few lines in the previous paragraph also?
here,
Yeah,
this
the
one,
everything else. Yeah.
everything else can stray from your sight, but never Atma. It is always self evident and never becomes remote. In spite of it being eternally present, because he is ignorant, a person completely sets it aside, taking the anatma, the body mind complex, as the atma. Naturally, he becomes the karta and therefore a bhokta. Being a frightened, limited karta, he is always doing both good and bad karma and therefore accumulating punya and papa. Once his life here is over, he has accomplished nothing and therefore has destroyed himself. Because of the punya papa, he assumes another body, which also he destroys in time. In Tamil, there is a verse which says that in this great beautiful park, the world, a beggar, the Jiva, went on asking the pot maker, Ishvara, to make for him a pot, the human physical body. Because of his prayers, he was given a good body, a vessel, which is meant to be filled with knowledge. He was so ecstatic about the pot that he put it on his head and began dancing. Naturally, it fell down and broke. He did not fill it up with knowledge. Assuming new bodies one after the other, the ignorant person keeps destroying them because of abuse of his free will, the very endowment which can release him from samsara. It is something like a person who's bound up in ropes, being given a knife, instead of cutting loose his bonds. So this knife is the knowledge, right? So it is something like a person who's bound up in ropes being given a knife. Instead of, so this free will is this knife, the knowledge. Instead of cutting loose his bonds, he cuts his own throat. He destroys himself by himself. Even though Atma is the absolute reality, the only thing that is, due to ignorance, he is destroyed. This is because the result, moksha, that is already obtaining as the centered on Atma himself, he has denied himself. This is because the result, moksha, that is already obtaining as centered on Atma, on himself, he has denied himself. So, wrong identification, ignorance, and wrong use of his free will, abuse of his free will. On the other hand, the one who has the clear vision of Atma does not destroy himself. He has made use of this body and has not failed to recognize his identity with Ishvara, therefore gains moksha. Each individual is different, an objection. Now, an objection is raised that it is not proper to say that one recognizes Atma as the same in all beings because each person is different. Each one is a karta and does his own actions, which produce his own unique results for him to enjoy as a bhokta. Each one enjoys his own karma phala, both past and present. There are numerous kartas, each one distinguished from the other by his own attributes of papa punya. The following verse answers this objection.
So in the previous verse, basically discussing you make use of this life, recognizing who you are, basically, yourself. Otherwise, we are wasting our, I mean, destroying ourselves. That's what the take on that one.
Yeah.
Like
Who
that
has the
Tamil
clear
story.
vision of Atma and recognizing it
Yeah, you've been
attains
given a
moksha.
pot. You're supposed to fill it with knowledge and
Right.
realize who you are rather than get enamored by that beautiful park and destroy yourself.
Yeah. On the other hand, he also mentions, right, like the karta and bhokta. But so that part, still, I mean, we are not completely there yet. But then again, um how we, yeah, again, it's kind of a question, how we spend our lives, uh to, I mean, not like, or we can be always in this particular thing. I mean, what did that mean by bhokta? Like, the, in our, in the, in this kind of life, like what I meant by that, uh like
which is
Pragasta
why
life.
which is
Yeah.
why it is advised for seekers like us to be a karma yogi. So when you're a
Mm,
karma yogi, although you are doing you're a karta and a bhokta, you um, you offer everything to the Lord, whatever actions you're doing,
mhm,
and whatever result you get, you're taking it as His prasada. So that way you're diluting, so to say, the skatta and the bhokta. Although it is there,
mhm.
it is not that it's gone for a karma yogi.
Okay, I
It
know.
is one
I
step
know we kind of forgetting that part of it all the
closer.
time. Yeah. Um. Right. That's the part that we have to remember on everyday basis.
Otherwise, if you contrast that from for a person who's not a karma yogi, he is so caught up in his kartritva bhavana and the bhoktritva that he's so bound. Whereas a karma yogi, it is kind of that knot is getting a little looser because you're
Hmm.
not the katta, you're not the bhokta, but yet you're acting. You have to do your actions, you have to do your duty. But whatever you do, you offer it, and whatever result you get, you take it as prasada. So
But
then,
yet again, in Karma Yoga, is there, um, I'm sorry, that go back, we had go back to Karma Yoga again, to really, I, I mean, what kind of karmas, right? Like, I know we read about all the, nitya karma, niyamita karma, those things. Um, but say, for example, watching TV, or looking at our telephone, or those kind of things, like we get carried away, with those things again, that I can't put it as so, that, uh, your, Krishna Arpanam for that one, but meaning, like, I know we do, say, enjoying, like, going to a place or enjoying the nature, that should be something different than, watching a movie or some other things, so I just trying to see, like, we do, I mean, I do get it in that kind of action. So how do I, kind of divert from that? I know we can say ourselves, okay, I'm not going to watch it, and things like that. But then again,
I think it's
if we have,
all about prioritizing. No, at that point, what is the priority? Doing what
mm,
is to be done.
yeah, okay,
And
That
everything in
might guide you.
moderation. Hmm.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, you're not going to be watching all day, like that kind of stuff. But, um, so right, so we try and do the
So here
priority.
you should look at whether you are being carried away by your raga dveshas. So if you
Mm,
put down a list of things to do, and of those, if you are putting those that are to be done to the bottom, and then you're just watching TV, then
mm,
that becomes that
less
is not right,
priority. Mm,
isn't it? That then you prioritize what is to be done. It does not mean you should not enjoy. Of course, you can of course enjoy. You can of course relax. But
mm,
then, if there is something else to be done, I think it's all about a balance that each one of us has to create. There cannot
mhm.
be one size fits all, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
We know inside of us, we know exactly. Uh, See, if watching television, you're free from conflict. That's fine. But when you're watching television, there is an inner conflict. Array, I should have done that. Why am I doing this? Then you pretty well shut off the TV and go ahead and do what you're supposed to do. But if you're free from conflict, then I think that should be okay. I,
Mm.
I, I don't know whether I got the point across, but
No,
whatever
I
it
do get
is,
it. Like as I said, like one is a priority. The second thing
mm,
is, yeah, you would rather do something else, which it could be useful.
mm,
Um, that could be good, but then yeah, you are kind of. I just wanted to say that's bad on watching TV is bad. In the sense, there are some shows that you could watch or something that you enjoy, like you said, that to take your mind off something, that would work. But at the same time, I wouldn't watch something like really gory or something, like I turn it off. I mean, I don't really like, I mean, now that we've been through all these things, some of the times we don't like to watch all that violence and stuff like that. Nowadays, all the movies are like that only. So you hardly find something really good. But just
and
for
also
us,
here, I think mental discipline, inculcating mental discipline, taking a vow, all these will also help. We
right.
know, with all this knowledge, we know that going out into the world, you're only gathering more and more impressions.
Mm,
You're So when you know that you don't want to keep being in that state, so you inculcate another habit. I mean, you take on, say, for instance, you tell yourself for the next 2 or 3 days, I'm not going to watch TV.
right.
Instead, in that time, I will do some Shastra Patana, I will read some Shastra. Or you listen, you go to the screen, but you watch some knowledge, you watch something
Mm,
related to Shastra. Then slowly you're weaning the mind away. See, it is again, ultimately, it is, uh, uh, what is that?
yeah,
The
that
verse,
that's right. Like I try to do like the
Uddhared Atmanatmanam. So from by yourself, lift yourself. So we
yeah.
should befriend the mind and not get uh, come under the mind's influence. We need to slowly take the mind away. See, the mind will give 101 reasons why you have to watch TV, why you have to watch that movie. But
Mm,
at the bottom line, it's immaterial whether you watch that movie or not. In fact, watching the movie may actually cause more. See, because what you see, you start getting um, what you see and hear, you start developing those raga dveshas again and again. So it's only
mm.
taking you more and more into that,
Away from the
isn't it?
path that
So
we
out of
like to.
understanding, when you do it, is different rather than mandating it. Out of understanding is the best option. If it's not
Mm,
happening that way, then make take a vow, take a discipline that, for the next 2 days or 3 days I will not, and then gradually that will go, and you'll notice that your um, the passion for the movie, the passion for the TV drops automatically. I know amongst us in this group there are several who do not really watch TV. For them, it is not a necessity, or they don't feel compelled to watch TV.
yeah,
But for some of us, it
it
might be
was like
because it's
that
only a
for
matter of
me.
habit.
It was like that for a long time, and then
Yeah.
this break kind of put me in different things. But anyway, I really getting back there, but I just thought, okay, what other, how I get this, when I read this book, the part, okay, am I enjoying this, not enjoying it, if I'm not, what I'm supposed to do, all that comes to your head. But again,
Mm.
like hearing from other people also helps me to hold on to that thought and
That is why in those
time.
earlier qualifications are given as part of jnana:
Yeah,
amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam,
right.
स्थैर्यम, आत्मविनिग्रह. So even that there, the Shastra Patana becomes one of those that is a necessity. So I think that would come out of from understanding, and gradually that will drop.
Yeah.
When you have free time, rather than the mind going towards the TV remote, you will pick up a book, or maybe on the same TV you can watch some YouTube which is knowledge related.
Right.
At the same time, I don't think we should denounce ourselves, or make or feel small in case you're sitting and watching something. It's okay, let it be, but you're not bound by it. As long as you're not bound by it, it is fine.
Yeah. I get it. I say, that you just don't want to do that more frequently, then you are doing something wrong. So that's
Yeah.
what I kind of trying to figure that out in my head. Okay, listen, I had to do this, not do that. So that's very nice. Thank you.
Jai Gurudev, Dr. Mara.
Yeah.
Actually, it starts happening as you get into the knowledge more and more, and you analyze that, and rather you don't analyze. You think that it is you like it doesn't seem interesting to you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it happens gradually, though, as you and of course when we watch some movie or some uh, thing which is not very uh, like it is mind uh, affecting the mind, and of course when during the meditations it is those thoughts are coming, so you find them disturbing. So next time when you watch it, you are aware of those thoughts, that it would disturb my meditation, or it would disturb my mental peace, so I should not watch it. So it is, I think, that knowledge which one has after experiencing the things, which helps the person to drop all the things which are not conducive for this spiritual growth. Like initially I also used to watch the serials, and but how it over a period of time they automatically lost their charm and interest. So I don't wish to watch TV, uh, and it has happened gradually, and I didn't drop it. Like from my inner self, I don't wish to sit. I feel that I'm wasting my time. Why I'm watching this? It's and I prefer listening to the videos which like our classes last, whatever classes have been there. You listen to them again. You uh, be in that aura of that class. No? You go into that again. So it is you find it more interesting, and when you gain knowledge, you have that mental peace also. So listening and seeing things which gives you peace is more preferred rather than things which disturb our mind. I find it this way. Yeah, check.
Thank you,
Ramaraji,
Doctor. Yeah.
please read verse 29.
Yeah, we'll chant. प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः यः पश्यति तथात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति. Ch and prakritya eva, by prakriti alone, sarvashah, in all ways, karmani, actions, kriyamanani, are being performed, yaha pashyati, he who sees, tatha, so too he sees, atmanam, the self, akartaram, as a non-doer, cha, and yah pashyati, he who sees, sah pashyati, he sees. Cha prakritya eva sarvashah karmani kriyamanani yah pashyati tatha atmanam akartaram cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. And he who sees that by Prakriti alone actions are being performed in all ways, and so too he who sees the self as a non doer, he alone sees.
The one who sees oneself as akarta alone sees the truth. Shvetashvatara
Shvetashvataropanishad says,
says,
Mayam tu prakritim vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. Yeah, go ahead.
may one know Maya to be the cause, whereas the one who wields that Maya is Ishvara. Maya is the material cause that undergoes change. Parinami upadana karana.
Upadana karana.
Upadana karana. Parinami upadana karana. Ishvara, Brahman, is the cause upon which this Maya is based and which undergoes no change at all. Vivarta Upadana Karana. By this, Prakriti alone, Bhagavan says, actions are performed. By saying Eva, alone, he emphasizes that it is not by anything else. All the previous karmas, both religious, Vaitika, and secular, Laukika, are being performed by Prakriti alone. All the various karmas, both religious, Vaitika, and secular, Laukika, are being performed by Prakriti alone. Wow! Sanatana Dharma is secularism is already built in. So much of confusion with this word secular. So beautiful. I wish people would know this. That all various karmas, both religious, Vaitika, and secular, Laukika, are being performed by Prakriti alone. And they are being done in various ways, that is, by various organs of action. Maya itself does not perform action but has undergone change to become Hiranyagarbha, the total subtle body, and Virat, the total physical body. Okay, Maya itself does not perform action but has undergone change to become Hiranyagarbha, the total subtle body, and Virat, the total physical body. At the individual level, Prakriti has modified to become the physical body, the senses, and mind. Therefore, when a person performs any action, it is because of Chaitanya, consciousness, though consciousness itself performs no action. Because of the Purusha, which remains in Prakriti without performing any action, Prakriti gets vivified and performs all actions. Thus, we have this peculiar connection, samyoga, which, as we saw before, is a superimposition, adhyasa, due to avidya. Therefore, Shankara says the karmas which are initiated by the organs of speech, the physical body, sees that Atma, the Purusha, which is pure consciousness, does not perform any action. Atma remains independent of all the upadhis, meaning their properties do not belong to Atma. This one verse states clearly all that has been said here. The one who sees this sees things as they are. Should we stop here for Manana or should I continue?
Can you just scroll down and see how much more of this is there?
Only one more paragraph. We'll read.
You can just finish that and then we'll
Yeah,
stop.
yeah. There is no pramana to say Atmas are many. Shankara adds here that there is no means of knowledge, pramana, to show that there are different Atmas. There is no tenability of a pramana for differences in a self that is a doer, that is not a doer. There is no tenability of a pramana for differences in a self that is not a doer and is without qualities and attributes like space. Being free from any limbs, it does not perform any action, and being the same, non dual, there is no pramana to establish differences in Atma. Even your own perception denies this because what you can objectively objectify is the body, and you cannot say, I am the body. At the same time, I am the one who's aware of the body. On the contrary, Shastra says Atma is witness consciousness. It is free from attributes. Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunascha. And what the Shastra says cannot be denied because Atma is you, self evident, pure consciousness. It is free from attributes and not an object, but the essence, the subject of everything. An attribute is something because of which you recognize a substance and that which distinguishes one object from another. How can you distinguish Atma from any object when it has no attributes? There is no object which is separate from the Atma. In different words, he says the same in the next verse. So, Shastra says that Atma is the Sakshi without any attributes. So therefore, Atma cannot be different in different ways. This is what I got from here.
Also, it says this Atma is the same for everybody, right? I mean, it's the same. It's not different for different
Yeah.
people. It's the same. So that question came, the two uh, two verses ago, like where it was talking about um, when person dies, what happens, right? Like the the atma doesn't change. So even if you take different body, like that rebirth, but the same atma is the same. So that doesn't change. The person changes. The physical body changes. Only change that has happens.
Yeah.
So that also, there was another. I don't remember. It was the sixth chapter. We read about Sarvabhuta Thanis or something. I forgot that. Um, so the Atma in everybody is it's in you the same as
Tastamatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani.
yeah.
Ikyate
And,
yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. I think that
uh,
is
yeah.
Maybe chapter
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Um, it's the same uh, in you as well as in everyone else, everything. In, and so you see everybody the same. Very nice. Thank you.
The fact that Atma is never away from the person, he is always there, except that it is because of this ignorance that we are not able to recognize that. That is that was very profound. He is never removed from you. Everything
Yeah.
else maybe can come into your perception and go out of perception, but Atma is self luminous, it's self evident, it is
Self
there.
evident. Yeah.
It is the only thing that is existing. That is one.
Right.
And that beautiful
Everything
Tamil
else is the
story about
changing. Mm.
the Tamil story about how in that
Mm.
beautiful park that is the world, this the Jiva, mm,
Yeah.
because of prayers to Ishvara, he gets up, he asks for a pot, and that he fills it with everything else except knowledge.
Accept the
He's
knowledge.
yeah, he's destroying himself.
Yeah. I mean, that was that. It's so coherent, right? All these verses, it kind of connects with the from the top to the bottom. Oh my
And
God,
also
it's so
Shankara's
amazing.
example of the wooden elephant, where the teacher and the student are going, and then the
Yes.
student is terrified, says, "Oh, there is an elephant there." But when the teacher says, "Come, touch it," the
Mm,
moment he realizes that it is made of wood, the
mm,
fear of the elephant just vanishes. That is mithya. How to explain mithya? What is mithya?
mm.
Similarly,
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
moment knowledge dawns that the Atma is eternal and I am that Atma, that Aham Brahmasmi recognition happens, then similarly the whole world, everything else becomes, that is Mithya, becomes a reality. You
yeah. Even
recognize it.
that
Yeah.
the first, sorry, one point that parinami, what is that called? Parinami. We were uh,
Parinami Upadanakar.
Upadana Karna, and then there is a
Vivarta
Vivarta
Upadanakar.
Upadana Karna. So the Parinami is constantly changing, right, with the
Mm.
Maya. The Vivarta is not change at all. I mean, we read that so many times. I mean, it really, like, the more when you're reading with this particular one, it stands out pretty, um, like strong, like that. That is changeless, like avyakta. Like we read that slokam, brahmanjana, like that. Ahameva aham avya. What is that? Avyayam.
Avyaha.
Avyaha. Right. Ahameva aham avyaha. So it doesn't change. Indestructible. And so that that point is made here again and again. Like, it doesn't change, and then it's a sakshi. Like you said, it's there all the time. Like that waking state and the dream state and the deep sleep state. It's there all days with us, and however that's there all the time. How much we think about it. So constantly I have to keep saying Aham Brahmasmi.
Yeah, I remember one sentence. Mm,
Yeah.
Asti Bhati Priti and name and form. The first three is of Brahma, Satchitananda, and name form is Jagat Mithya. Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. So he is there always, Asti, Bhati, and Priti. So if we remember that, he is always with us, then Jagat will vanish for us.
and there will be no two. So we will see everyone is the same
What
form
is
and same
Atibati
consciousness.
mean? Sorry, I didn't get that part. What's that?
Brahmaraji, can you explain her?
Atibati
Asti
means,
Bhati Priti, name and form.
oh, name and form. Okay.
There are five aspects to the whole anything.
Mm.
Asti, Bhati, Preeti, Nama, Rupa.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if you take, uh, say for instance, the pot is, there is that knowledge of the pot, and that the pot, the, maybe pot is not the right example, but then when you look at the things, anything in the world has these
Mm.
five aspects.
Oh, okay.
Asti, Bhati, Preeti, they belong to Brahma, and Nama Rupa belong to the Jagat. They keep
Oh, okay,
changing.
okay.
Nama Rupa keeps changing, whereas Asti, Bhati, Preeti, they remain constant.
Constant. Oh, okay.
So anything in nature you can uh, divide into these five aspects. So
Mm,
Nama Rupa is, those belong to the Jagat. Asti Bhati Preeti belong to the Atma.
mm-hmm.
So it
Is there a
depends on where
meaning
you're
for
getting
that?
carried away. Are you
Oh,
getting
okay.
carried away by the Nama Rupa? Then you're a samsari. Whereas when
Mm,
you're staying with the knowledge of that Asti Bhati Preeti, then you're closer to the truth.
truth. True.
Mm.
That's true.
So we have about 5 minutes left. So
Should I?
we decided, shall we? We'll just listen to. This is
I'll
another
share.
rendering of the Brahma Jnana Vali Mala. This is, I think, just the shlokas without the meanings. Maybe we can just close our eyes and just revel in that.
I'll share it.
Uh,
One quick
I'm
question,
sharing it.
Dr. Brahmara. Yesterday, I came in, I couldn't understand, I saw the Nanaji's video, but then somehow I don't get it. Is it, do you have a text for it or just what
Right.
we are
No,
hearing?
that's
Uh,
a Telugu compilation. I
oh,
searched for it in on Google for an English parallel, but I couldn't lay my hands on that. So this is
okay,
a compilation of um, specific and important verses from different Upanishads. It's called
okay, okay.
Upanishad Ratnakaram, and
Oh,
from that, Nana has been, every Sunday we have an hour session. We had 8 such sessions, and he completed that last Sunday.
right.
So
So
Brahmaraji, I
you're
couldn't
doing that
find
every
session 8.
you couldn't
week.
Brahmaraji,
find it, is it? I will
yeah,
post it in the
on
group.
YouTube. Hmm.
I'll post it in the group.
So is it, so you're replaying it on Tuesdays? Is that how it
No,
works?
no, no. It's not that it's played on Tuesdays. Yesterday again, I had,
Oh,
there was I was not able to uh, go through continue the
that
mantra
PDF.
in Gita. So
Okay.
therefore, there's a practical difficulty. So therefore, I played the Upanishad Ratnakaram. There's no
Okay.
such
Okay.
thing, but
Mm.
um, yeah, I'll
So
post
I
that in the
wasn't
group.
sure, like, even last week I saw that. So I wasn't sure, like, you having it every week like that.
The idea
So
was to listen to it as a group and do some manana on that. Manana aspect is not happening, but at least we did a revisit. Maybe once
revisit.
we've
Okay.
done the all the chapters, once we can go back to that and then revise that once and have manana on that.
Okay. Because I'm
So
wondering whether we should transcribe it or something, what he says, so that I
Dr.
don't know.
Renu
I
has done
have
a
to.
wonderful job. She's been
Oh,
writing it down. I will ask her to share it in the group. She's been
okay.
very religiously transcribing, so to say, all
Oh,
the gist of every session. I think
mm,
that will really help. We'll ask her to share it in the group.
that's nice because I was thinking if
Yeah,
talking about.
hello. Once
Yeah.
I considered
Okay.
Once I completed a series in the group that I had to finish 2 more sessions. Then I will.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Have to. Or if you want, I can share session by session.
Yeah, I think you can share session by session in the meantime, Dr. Renu, for the benefit of all.
Just anyway, I will do that.
Yeah. So, shall we all just close our eyes and then listen to Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Let's close our eyes and just listen to this rendition.
ब्रह्मज्ञानावलीमाला श्रवणमात्रेण ब्रह्मज्ञानं यतो भवेत् ब्रह्मज्ञानावलीमाला सर्वेषां मोक्षसिद्धये असङ्गोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः धूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवध्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यच्चैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृते परा शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतः परात्माहम् मद्यातीतः परः शिव मायातीतः परं ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयाव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्तरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्यामि स्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वकोऽस्म्यहम् परमात्मस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निष्कलोऽहम् निष्क्रियोऽहम् सर्वात्माद्यः सनातनः अपरोक्षस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहम् सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानगण एवाहम् विज्ञानगण निराधारस्वरूपोऽहं सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रय विनिर्मुक्तो देहत्रय विलक्षणः अवस्थात्रय साक्ष्यस्मि चाहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्पर विलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्म दृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्चैवं पुनः पुनः स एवामुक्तसन्विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुट्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तत्त्वं ब्रह्म जगत् सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्चास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योतिः बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यज्योतिः परात् परः ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिः शिवोऽस्म्यहम्.
Losing a loved one is unbearable. Losing a child